Wow. Okay, let me do my dumb little intro. Let me do my dumb little idiot boy intro there. I was gonna do a little intro is what I wanted to do. I wanted to do that. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Look who's here. The goat. Oh my god. I'm surprised so many people are showing up. I was pretty sure that I was just gonna hit that at everyone mention, and then I was just gonna be like, oh yeah, everyone kind of forgot. Everyone forgot about lid human. So yeah, I'm trying to get lid from a human today. It's been 85 years. Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty much been that long. I don't know why, I was just bored today and I had like a sudden urge to game for some reason, and I haven't had an urge to game like this in a very long time. So, whatever, I'll take it, you know? Alright, this is my world, in fact. Cool. I'm pretty sure I was trying Eye of Cthulhu. Like, what's this feeling like? I'm summoning a boss even though I haven't played this game in ages. Alright. Wow. Wait, no, this game is easy. I totally forgot. Oh my god, it's Cooldry. How's everyone doing? I have some fun stories to tell and such. I'll get into them soon. I'm just like trying to ease back into the fact that I'm on camera right now. My voice doesn't sound as fun as it used to. I sound like a dejected and sad little husk of a man. It's kind of sad. I'm just like, hey, what's up? Holy wowzers. What's up, Toast? Oh, frick, dude. Ah! Ah! Whew. Okay. I did survive that, fortunately. I might just be bad at video games, might be the secret. Yeah, okay, whatever. How can Terraria be hard? That's what I'm saying. Alright, let me wake up. Let me wake up a little bit. I need to turn this down because it's actually destroying my focus. There we go. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Dude, Josh, you forget that I haven't done this in a bit. There we go. It's like he's rusty at this streaming thing or something. Should I turn on my video? Should I show my frickin' stinky little boy face? Oh, that's the foot cam. We don't need that. We don't need that. Yo, it's Thames. Well, just cleared my afternoon for this. Fair enough. This is a great video. I sound like me. Oh, I sound like I woke up 15 minutes ago. Fun fact, I woke up 13 hours ago. So, you know what? Close enough. Alright. I'm just, like, looking at this arena, and it's kind of shit-ass from a butt poop. And I'm trying to fix that up, first of all. Who has goon to his feet? Hello, Jalil. I haven't. I sure haven't. Oh my god, it's the Prisma base. I forgot about the Prisma base. The nostalgia, man. The nostalgia. Alright, so I need a better arena. I probably want some... I do have the campfires in my inventory. I think I should go grab, like, some water or something, just so I don't sound this nasty. But you know what? I'll do that later. We don't have time for that type of bullshit right now. Did you watch the Kirby Air Riders Direct? If not, you should have. It was important news. Prisma base in Big August. Yeah, there was a Prisma base in Big August. What about it? Prisma base brings me back, okay? I think about Prisma base a lot. It's like Coinbase, but if it wasn't about crypto scams. So, you know, it's like cool. But yeah, you guys wanna know what the fuck has been up with me? I can get into it. I've got all day. I've got all frickin' day. Bazinga. That's right, Dingus. So yeah, I have been gone for a little while, and I mean, classes are starting up again in 2 weeks, so it's not like I'm in the best position to be like committing to anything right now. But basically, what's been up? I ended up living in my college town all summer, and as a result of that, I've been working a lot because school be expensive and stuff. But other than that, I've also been like working on a project, like a sort of independent research project, which, like, I'm not gonna get into all the fucking jargon because you guys obviously wouldn't give a fuck. But I'm making a computer simulation of a certain physics thing that hasn't been simulated before, and I'm just kind of like freeballing it on my own. So I've been reading a lot of textbooks and such, and it's been kind of cool. I've been kind of excited about it because it looks cool. And so, you know, I was sleeping, I was hibernating, you got me. So yeah, I'll give you guys some light reading material if you want, but I've been studying, I worked in a lab, in my sophomore year spring, so last semester, and, so I was like, okay, I want to, like, try to do something in this vein, sort of. So I was working with, topological superconductors, which are a special type of material that when they get cold enough and superconduct, a new kind of behavior shows up in them called a Majorana fermion, and it's kind of fun. It's like a little lattice vibration wave, and the fun part about them is that when they touch each other, they just disappear. They annihilate themselves, and because they work like that, you can actually use them to make quantum computers. And I'm trying to make like an in-depth, robust simulator that takes experimental data based on measurements and then turns them back and then simulates like what happens when you get it down to really low temperatures. So like I've been reading a lot of textbooks and such. I'm currently just like doing a advanced linear algebra review. Then I'm gonna learn partial differential equations just for some light work. I don't know why I'm undertaking this, but if I can complete this, it would be really big for my thesis that I have to write. Yeah, yeah, I understood everything you said. Good, I'm glad I dumbed it down a lot. But yeah, so I've been doing that. But also, simultaneously, would that not be, if they destroy each other, does that mean the computer needs to be constantly fed? No. So they're not like particles in the same way a normal particle is. They're a quasi-particle. So think of it like, you know, it's called a fermion because it behaves like a specific type of particle. But in reality, it's more like a lattice vibration in the actual material. And then when the lattice vibrations hit each other, they cancel out, and go to zero energy, basically. That's like the general idea. And because they annihilate each other and arise at low temperatures, if you like super cool it to like 1.2 kelvins, like some very, very cold shit like that, you can kind of control where they appear, and then you can use them to act like your quantum bits, which, like, in layman's terms, it's pretty similar to like computer bits. There are like some key differences between qubits and normal bits that are like evil and stupid and very jargony. But yeah, they are a very strong contender for like sustainable qubits that don't get destroyed by like weird perturbations. Oh yeah, no, it's not the material specifically. But yeah, so in the lab I was working with, we were finding different ways of growing the specific crystal. And in order to grow it, it has a very specific crystal shape. So in order to do that, you have to like stick a bunch of like little tiny atoms between the layers so they grow in the right shape. And then after that, you have to remove those atoms. And removing the atoms is usually done with one of two ways, and it's like one of two different acids, and we're trying to find like the least damaging way to do it, so we're trying a bunch of different techniques of purifying it. So then it like, huh? Why hasn't someone else recreated this already? I honestly don't know. There's a lot of study in topological superconductors. I haven't found, like, a very robust, like, public simulation thing, which is why, like, even if somebody has, like, kind of modeled it, I want to try to just, like, build a software and then, like, make it comprehensive. I want it to be able to import meshes from CAD models. So, like, you can go in SolidWorks or something, and make a little CAD mesh out of it, and then use all of the mesh points as, like, as atoms, and then try to simulate the entire, physics of the system. And then, if you can, like, simulate the entire physics of the system, then, like, I want to make something that can translate, atomic force microscope measurements into meshes, and then sort of have, like, a predictive model for that kind of thing. I think it would be cool. That is all. And then I could probably write a thesis on it and be like, hi, I'm a good grad student candidate. Hello, my name's Wyeeett. Nice to meet you. Ah! Alright. Here we go. Footboy, that's me. Is there a lore reason lab stream 1? This sounds like so much more fun than playing Terraria. Dude, it's so much more fucking exhausting than playing Terraria, I'm not gonna lie to you. Because, like, it sounds really cool and I am very passionate about it, but goddamn, I swear to God, I use all of my free time with my nose in a textbook. And, like, I love it and I find it very, very, very interesting. But, like, when I was at home today after work and before I went to a little appointment that I had, I basically just spent 2 hours reading about, like, specific topics in linear algebra that weren't covered in the class that I took on it, like, 2 years ago, so that I could, like, kind of know more about what's going on in quantum mechanics. And, like, the thing about self-studying is that you're, like, reading a textbook or something that you totally legally obtained online from Google Drive, and then you take a bunch of time just, like, working through every problem in the book to make sure that the concepts are actually, like, sticking to you, and it's just so exhausting. And, like, honestly, the structure of a classroom is kind of fucking nice in that regard, because, like, they teach you the things and then you walk out of the lecture and it's like, that lecture was, like, so like, well contained. Meanwhile, I'm, like, here and I've got, like, just shit in my head and I, like, break it up by eating a beef jerky stick out of my fucking fridge and then crying in my bedroom. It's kind of fire, but yeah. And then, yeah, then fire. But other than that, another reason why I didn't stream a lot this summer was because I was, like, I pretty much didn't live at home very often, and I was living at my girlfriend's house, like, the whole time, because we were sharing groceries until her roommates moved in, which, spoiler alert, they recently moved in. That's why I'm here right now, because the two of us stayed in town all summer, and she, like, this is where we get to the funny story that I've been, like, building up to this whole time. So basically, I was helping her move in to her new place with all of her new roommates, and I asked the company that I've been working for this summer if I can use their van to help move everything. First segment at the move, we take all of her stuff out of her apartment and move it to my house. It kind of goes off without any hitches. I had to strap a couch to the top of the van, which was kind of funny. So I like ratchet strap it to the top of the van. That was fine. That all got done. It was a little stressful, but it was okay. And then like a few days pass. It's Saturday, like this recent Saturday, and I had to move everything from my house to their new townhouse, and we, like, first of all, like, we were supposed to be able to move in at 1, and it's like 1 p.m. That's cool, that's fine, that's like a normal time to start moving stuff in. We get in there, they're like, yo, Actually, the cleaning people haven't been through yet. They are supposed to be through by 5. So, at the latest, if they still haven't cleaned, you can start moving in at 5. We get there at 5, no one's cleaned it. So, that's awesome. We basically wasted 4 hours to wait for people who were never gonna come. And I get it. Like, it's college move-in season in a college town. Of course, like, the cleaning staff's gonna be a little behind. That's understandable. It's also not my house, so I'm not really gonna complain about it that much. But, you know, yeah. So, it's also, like, pouring outside, and we have garage access. And that's nice because you can, like, go into the garage and park, and the couch doesn't get sopping wet. So we, like, pick up our first load of items, and we're, like, driving. Someone's there already to open the garage door for us, and as we're pulling into the garage, front of the van, just right through the garage, whatever, because it's on a slope. Second, back of the van, I feel something catch on the top, and I'm like, fuck. So, the thing about this van is because I kind of, like, have been doing, like, manual labor kind of job all summer, there's a ladder rack on top of the van. Yeah, so the back of the ladder rack just goes straight through the plaster in front of the garage door, and I'm like, fuck. I totally forgot there's a ladder rack on this van. And as, like, we get all the way in there, I don't push all the way past. Like, we catch and I stop dead in my tracks because I'm like, I'm not fucking up this work van. And I'm also not going to fuck up the garage door. Because believe it or not, those are, like, the 2 most expensive items in the picture, obviously. So yeah, I'm, like, stuck in the plaster in front of the garage. And I'm just kind of sitting there. And I work really well under pressure for whatever reason. So, like, I immediately get out, like, a socket wrench and just start taking apart the ladder rack. It is bent to all shit. Like, the ladder rack has, like, 2 racks, one front and back, and then a bar that connects them in the middle, because there's, like, this lever that lowers the ladders. And the bar is bent into, like, the cool S shape. I swear to God. Like, the one that you'd see on the bottom of your desks in the 90s or something. I don't know, I wasn't around back then. But, like, yeah, so it's bent like that, and I'm like, oh, fuck. This is bad. This is, like, really bad. And I'm already, like, going damage control mode. I'm like, fuck. Okay, so if this goes wrong, worst case scenario, I'm gonna have to pay for the entire like garage fix, assuming that was broken. I look at it, the garage is fine. I'm like, okay, this is fine. I'm just gonna have to get this thing entirely out of here. I'm going to have to pay for a new ladder rack, and I'm like, those can't be that expensive. It's just a bunch of metal. I call my boss right away, and he's like, yeah, it sucks. Those things are custom made for our vans. And I'm like, fuck. I was like, how much are they? He's like, we do have insurance on it. So, before insurance, they're like $5,000. And I'm like, fuck. I don't have $5,000. So I'm just, like, frantically trying to not damage the van at this point. I've already accepted this, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'll have to, like, take a semester off of school and just kind of work the whole time to make all the money up, or whatever. Or, like, hopefully they still, like, hire me. I don't know if they'll be able to get the insurance on it because it was off duty, whatever. I'm, like, tweaking. I'm losing my fucking mind. And I'm just, like, slowly pulling this thing apart. And I get to the point where there's, like, one thing. How many Terraria videos is that gonna be? 5,000. I make $1 a video. So I'm pulling this thing apart frantically. And eventually we get to the point where there's just, like, one rod on the thing left, just sticking straight into, like, a wooden beam. And I'm like, fuck, okay, I don't know how to get this out. And then, like, the cleaning staff, for one of the buildings nearby, like, stopped by. And it's, like, this middle-aged Hispanic woman. She's very nice. She walks up to me, and she's like, hey, don't worry, nobody got hurt. She's being very nice. And then her cousin comes over, and he only speaks in Spanish. And she's, like, doing some translation for me. And then I was like, muchas gracias por tus traducciones. Estaban bien, pero puedo comunicarse con él. And he, like, looks at me, And like all of the people who are moving with me also look at me because half of them didn't know that I took like 5 semesters of Spanish. So that I'm just talking to this guy and I'm like, I don't know, I might need to like cut the pipe. And he's like, I don't know if you could cut the pipe, and I'm like, it is cast iron, it might be a little hard. Basically like he gives me the bright idea. He's like, dude, have you tried emptying out the tires, like letting the air out of them? And I was like, shit, no, I did not think of that. So I immediately start emptying the air out of the tires. And so once the air is like entirely out of the tires, other than like 9 psi, it was very low. I'm getting very close to getting it, but we finally like I gave up, and we called a non-emergency line fire department call, and they just had like 5 guys who easily weighed like over 200 pounds, and they just kind of all stood on the back of it and weighed the back down, and they were finally able to get it free. So once they got it free, we didn't end up having to cut anything, and I was very happy about that, because I was like, maybe, just maybe, I can salvage some of the parts. So we finish moving everything, we get everything into the building, and then it's time for me to like go and actually like put everything back in the van at least, and maybe see if I can possibly fix the thing. I get there at like maybe 2 in the morning, because this was like a hell of an ordeal with the removal thing. I think it took like 3 hours. And I like decide I should probably text my boss and see, have you already cashed in the insurance claim, because if I tamper with it afterwards, that's not a good thing. And he doesn't text me back until the next morning. So I had left and just kind of left all of the different things in the van, and then everything else was just kind of on the floor, waiting as to whether or not I could fix it. And so I wake up and I catch the text, and he's like, yeah, go for it. I don't know if he was like certain that I could fix it, but I was confident. I lead first, and I'm like, hey, I believe that I can fix this thing. It just needs to bend back into place. And like it looked like a more complicated fix than it was. It was just a lot of bending metal, which isn't terribly hard. So I was like getting started. I get there at like 11 in the morning, and then I just start like trying to hammer it back into place, and I'm like, this isn't working. The hammering's just kind of like denting it, not really worth trying. So I decide to go to Menards. I pick up like a big vise, like a heavy duty industrial vise, for like $100, which is like fine. I definitely have money in my bank account after all of the working I've done this summer, so it wasn't like a deadly hit, and it was definitely less deadly than the fucking replacement was gonna be. So then I just kind of spend until like 5 p.m. there just fixing up this thing. And then I'm like, shit, I don't have groceries for the week. So then I run to Aldi quick, Aldi the goat, pick that up. This is all fucking 2 days ago. God damn. So yeah, I get all of my groceries done, which is fun. And then I go back. I finally get out of there at like 9 p.m. I think. With all of the repairs and whatnot. But yeah, that was my weekend, and I was like, okay, it's finally over. I can finally relax. I go to work, and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna like be really well behaved at work today. Just really try to like reinforce that I deserve to work at this company. And things are going great. I guess I could lead with, we are window cleaners. So I'm like cleaning the windows, and it's time to like put the screens back in the windows after we clean them. And and as I'm like reaching outside to pick up the screen for one of the windows that we took apart, I guess we did too good of a fucking job, because I could not see the pane of glass in there, and I just headbutt my head straight through the fucking window. And I'm just tweaking. I'm like, god damn it. I'm trying to, like, make a good impression right now. I have been working there for, like, 4 months now, but, like, I'm trying to, like, redeem myself, basically. And I just fucking put my head straight through the pane of glass. I think it's just really low. And I do also have it turned on. But yeah, so I just, like, much like a bird, like, flying into your window, I just, like, slam my fucking head through the glass. Yeah, exactly, froze up bird. Have you analyzed the atomic structures and particle fluctuations of the windows? It's an amorphous crystalline lattice, generally. But yeah, so I headbutted the, sorry, that was real nerd shit. I was trying to do fake nerd shit, but then I was like, I could actually just explain. But yeah, so I fucking put the middle of my head straight through this window, and like the owner is just sitting there and just watches me do this, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna make a couple calls real quick. And she's like, and I'm like, alright, I run into the other room, call the same fucking boss that I just called the other day about my, about the fact that I, like, wrecked the top of the van. And, I'm just like, hey, by the way, I fucking shattered a window today. And he's like, this happens a lot, it's okay. This is the first one at your new location. And I was like, okay, cool. So now he has to go find somebody to fix the window. And then today was a calmer day, and we were just, like, flying neighborhoods because we don't have a ton of work right now. But yeah, so basically I've been in hell for the last couple of days, but I think it's all kind of smoothed out at this point, which makes me happy. It makes me very happy. I'm trying, like, the fact, could you answer my question about atom acid extraction? Wait, sorry, I missed you, Elgos. Answer your question, where is it? How would the acid remove the atom if it is completely encased in the crystal chalice? Or lattice, that must be some really high charge attraction. Yeah, generally. So, what we use to intercalate between the layers, actually, I don't know if you've watched the recent Veritasium video, but he talks about the specific class of materials that we're using in it. The one where he talks about lithium-ion batteries. So the type of material that we use is called a transition metal dichalcogenide. The one I've been working with is the 2M phase of tungsten disulfide. So it's like just a bunch of words, honestly. But basically the way that these things form is they have like these layers of crystal that are held together like in a 2D plane. And then there is just a little space between them. And these, like, weaker forces called van der Waals forces hold the layers together. And in between the layers, there are potassium ions that we put there. Because the potassium ions kind of warp the way the layers are, so they go into this specific shape. And that's what allows you to, oh my god, it's fucking man guy. But yeah, so, basically, like, the atoms are just in between these layers, and if you just put some kind of acid in there, because they're potassium ions, they have a positive charge. If you like put an acid in there or whatever, it will grab them and flow through and pull them out without really damaging the lattice. We are hypothesizing that it might damage the lattice a little bit. And that's why we're trying a bunch of different, yeah, London dispersion force. But yeah, so we're trying a bunch of different methods, some novel ones that haven't been used before, things that aren't even acids, to see if there's a possible way to maintain the purity of the crystal, and see if it makes it easier to realize these Majorana states. Boom. Yeah, it does have like 3 names. Physicists usually say VDW, Lil van der Waal. But yeah. I'm technically, like, working with materials scientists in general at this point. Because materials science is low-key one of the most goated fields of engineering, and nobody even knows. Because no one tells you what materials science is. Kids out there, you not worried? They don't know. Yeah, I'm not worried. Now I really wish I was, yeah. But yeah, so, Yeah, like, material science is low-key. I am gonna go drink water. You're totally right, peanut butter. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Dude, peanut butter, you got me. How long am I gonna stream for? I have no idea. I wish I was a nerd and understood what he was talking about. Dude, I would love to just, like, lecture about some shit. It's kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, what was I fucking talking about? I need to go get more flash rounds. I could do with some stronger armor too, probably. Oh no, it's the life regen. That's good. Yeah. God, I don't remember anything about sets right now. That's funny. Cause yeah, I had gold before. Silly. All right. Cause what does gold even do? Yeah, it's not good. You can dumb it down. Can I dumb it down? Yeah, I could honestly explain how superconductors work, that you're using. You would fuck with physics classes. I will say, little secret, a little behind the curtains peek. I've been writing a video lately. I've been writing 2 videos. One of them you can probably guess. Heavy water. Heavy water is just it uses an isotope of hydrogen instead of hydrogen. I mean, it is hydrogen, but it just has an extra neutron per nucleus. It's deuterium. But yeah, so basically a superconductor is an object. It's an object that when chilled to a certain temperature, it can conduct with 0 resistance. It's like the is watching Reboot with IRL friend W dates or no? Yeah, it's W dates. It's a banger video. It's a banger video. I'm not even gonna fucking lie to you. But yeah. I need to remember how to make flash rounds. Flash rounds. Glass and grenades. Ew, that's gonna cost so much frickin' money. You're the heavy waters guy, and this is my hydrogen. But yeah, so a superconductor is an object that when it's cooled down enough, it conducts without any resistivity. Or resistance, I should say, not resistivity. They're different things. Yeah, so it conducts with 0 resistance, and that's why, like, I'm sure, like, maybe you've seen the Nile Red video where he just has one of them and it just starts fucking floating. Superconductors are cool because they do a lot of weird things. These materials are cool mainly for a few reasons. Another thing about them is that if there's a magnetic field present with them, it does not go through the material because inside of it there is no electric field. Is the other thing. I might have messed up the wording on that. I need to study that more. I'm not gonna fucking lie. But the way that they interact with magnetic fields allows them to just kind of like free float. It's very cool. And superconductors are like kind of being studied for 2 reasons as of right now that I'm familiar with. One of them is people are trying to optimize superconductors to be able to superconduct at room temperature. This has just kind of been an ongoing project because, like, the higher the temperature it conducts at, the more energy efficient it becomes, and if you could find a superconductor that conducts electricity at, like, fucking room temperature, that would be kind of insane. Why does it I'm gonna get to that. So, basically, The way that superconductors work is once you reach a certain temperature, there are two types of lattice vibrations that naturally happen inside of crystals. One of them is called an acoustic phonon, and then the other one is a thermal phonon. Let me double check. I always forget this one because it's not as important to the phonon types. Is it called... no, optical phonons. Sorry. Yeah, acoustic phonons and optical phonons. I always think thermal because they scale with temperature. But so acoustic phonons happen at very low temperature, and these are like basic lattice vibrations. It's also how sound waves travel through solids and everything. It's phonons. And once you get down to really low temperatures, these tend to have a little bit more energy than the inherent repulsion of electrons. And you can get two electrons that have opposite spins or opposite angular momentum. And what it does is it pushes them really close together, and they become what's called a Cooper pair, which is like a new type of particle. And there's this thing in quantum mechanics called the Pauli exclusion principle, which tells you that no two identical fermions can be in the same place, and electrons are fermions. So this is why they need opposite spin or opposite angular momentum. Once they combine together, though, it'll turn their spin into 0 or 1. And those are whole numbers, which means they're no longer fermions. And they become what are called bosons, and bosons don't obey this principle. And it basically allows all of the electrons to fall down to the lowest energy level and sit there together, which means they don't really interact with anything, and they just flow. It's very cool. And because of that, they also... let me double check. Would a room temperature superconductor be a goated battery or no? It could be. Batteries are more of a voltage source. And a conductor is something that conducts current, which they're related. This isn't entirely my... Yeah, so fermions turn into bosons, exactly. It's because they're not identical electrons. That's why I was like very specific about like, hey, they have to have opposite spin or they have to have opposite angular momentum, because these are like important quantum numbers. There are like 5 quantum numbers that describe every electron. There is their quantum number, which is just like which energy level they're in. There's their angular momentum number, which is L. That one definitely goes directly into the angular momentum. So that one has to be opposite, like opposite sign, +1, -1. Or not +1, -1. I'm thinking of magnetic dipole. That's the one that has to be opposite. So then there's the Z component of it that can be either positive or negative, and that interferes with the magnetic field. So then you want them to have opposite sign, and that's how they cancel out. But yeah. Cannot be in the same place. How does that... yeah, so the Pauli exclusion principle. The Pauli exclusion principle states that no two identical fermions can occupy the same energetic level. So that's why, like, I don't know if you ever took chemistry classes, but in chemistry classes you talk about how there has to be a spin up and a spin down electron in each energy level. And so if they were to both have spin up, that would violate the Pauli exclusion principle, because there are two identical electrons occupying the same energy level. So then the quantum energy number, the N that you find in there, that one corresponds to the energy state, and that can have any value from 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. The next one, L, that's your angular momentum number. That one can take any value from 0 to 1 less than N. So if your N is 1, L can only be 0. That's your S orbital. These are all chemistry things. There's like a very thin line in very introductory modern physics where like pretty much everything just describes what you learn in chemistry and why it's like that. It's kind of silly. But yeah, so that's kind of the thing that's going on there. But yeah, I've been really into material science because it is like very cool applications of this kind of thing. And with my major, I like have to do my own research thesis in order to get my undergraduate degree. So I've been like starting to do a lot of my own research, trying to actually make something worthwhile. And I've been kind of passionate about it lately. So that's been what I've been up to a lot. I have a bunch of textbooks that I'm reading. I can always do little textbook reviews. The one I'm reading right now is Linear Algebra Done Right by Sheldon Axler. Real banger for real math heads out there. I'm kind of... Why does copper have only one electron in 4s? It's just from... What's copper's? I don't have the periodic table memorized. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't need that shit. Copper. So... Oh. Yeah. So, it's because of its position on the periodic table. It depends on the... Oh, wait, never mind. Damn. This might just be like a little caveat that... Dude, chemistry is weird. They have like so many things that they call rules. And then it's like... Oh, but like, by the way, this atom violates it just because it's silly. But yeah, I'm not a big chemistry head, personally. I couldn't tell you, but I could classify all of the electrons based on their spin angular momentum. That's about it. Not my field. Next question. Did I? Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. But yeah. So, I have been just doing a lot of math lately, though. The thing about quantum mechanics is it's like... Yeah, there are two elements that are an exception to the electron filling rule. I mean, there's definitely some kind of... I would assume it's like an electrostatic repulsion thing. How do you describe the imaginary unit in the Schrodinger equation physically? Yeah, so it's... The imaginary unit in the Schrodinger equation is... It does stand for an angular rotation. I don't know... So this is a concept that's like very important in what's called complex analysis, where you analyze complex numbers and how they behave. Basically, Euler's equation, which is like a very famous equation. Let me just pull it up so I can talk through it real quick. Images... Cool. So this equation, once I switch my source, because I'm terrible at this whole streaming thing. React Gamer. Display capture. This is the wrong one. Can we not do that? Oh my fucking god, dude. Alright. There we go. Alright, so this is Euler's equation. This right here, it dictates rotations in the complex plane, right? So complex plane, you have your real axis, so your plus or minus real numbers on this axis. So like 1, 2, 3, like any number that could be in there. Decimals, whatever. And then you have your imaginary axis, because every single complex number kind of comes of this form right here, where you have a real number plus an imaginary number. The reason they don't use sine and cosine is because this is actually way more elegant when you get used to it, and a lot easier to use. So basically, the thing about e to the I theta is that when you exponentiate I to the natural exponent, I need to find the proof for it. The proof comes from the Taylor series, which is like a calculus 2 concept. But yeah, as you expand, you can see that these are equal to this. I would do the whole proof, but I don't really have anything to write it on right now. But yeah, basically when you have this exponentiated thing, it stands for angles in the real and imaginary axes. Is that a record? It might be a record. But yeah, so these stand for the two different axes. And oh my god, And e to the I theta this is his identity. So, or e to the I pi. If you think in terms of radians, the full circle is 2 pi. E to the I pi would be e to the I times 180 degrees, basically. And 180 degrees on the real axis corresponds to -1, and that's why it's 0. That's complex analysis. That's pretty much, like, the most basic complex analysis thing that, like, can solve so many things. You'll get, like, imaginary numbers when you're solving differential equations, and then you can simplify them down to this, and then cancel things out. It's kind of nuts. I also hear of mommy ASMR. It's very big. The imaginary axis. So yeah, in Schrodinger's equation, here, let's pull up Schrodinger's equation. This is the big shit. So this is like the basic form of the Schrodinger equation. Obviously, it doesn't have the imaginary number right now because this is the time independent. When you have the time dependent one, you get to this guy, which is cool. This is one way of writing it. That's the momentum operator right there. God, I want the... Where's the long version? I'm looking up time dependent. Time dependent Schrodinger equation. Where are you? Yeah, okay. So, yeah, this is your energy operator, basically. The Hamiltonian here is your energy operator, and then this is your energy eigenvalue, which has an I in it. Basically, it tells you the angular frequency of the wave function, though. Yeah, it's famous since it neatly unites the core units. But yeah, is this the one I'm specifically looking for? This is one-dimensional. But yeah, it doesn't really matter specifically. This is a solution of it. Generally, your solutions will have a complex exponent, because what that does is it tells you the angular frequency of the wave, which is, the angular frequency is like the amount of times per second the wave does a full spin. But yeah, and then you can decompose it into the real and imaginary axis. That doesn't actually matter though. The wave function isn't necessarily a physical thing, is what I'm getting at. So the wave function, what it tells you is the probability of observing something. And in order to find that, you take the modulus squared of it, where you take the wave function and its complex conjugate, which is where you take any I in the equation and flip the sign of it. So if you multiply those two together, all of the i's will cancel out and it'll give you a real number, and then that tells you the probability distribution. Now, in order to find the expectation values for anything, you just take one of the operators. Like this one right here is an energy operator. Yeah. All of these things are like just entirely... It's so weird to explain, but the more you do it, the more you just kind of accept that that's how it works. But yeah, if you know linear algebra, this is the IH bar ddt is your eigenvalue, and this is your eigenvector, and this is your operator. I squared equals -1. Yeah, so where's the cat? The cat is the idea of a quantum particle behaves only, like, it only collapses into a specific place when you observe it, which is a funny phenomenon. I don't know why it's like that, but that's low-key just how it works. So if you observe a particle, the wave function will collapse to a certain point. But you do not know where it is, you just know the probability distribution until you observe it. So, like, yeah, this is the Schrodinger equation. Very silly. These waves just show you where the particle could be. Quantum particles are funny. And it's fucked up that, like, it's definitely just the case. Like, we've definitely... This is... Yeah. There's an e to the I. But, like, the Schrodinger equation's fucked up. Like, it tells me that the world is just probability, and that fucking sucks. It's kind of hopeless. That's normalized. Yeah, okay. You forgot negative, yeah. Hi Tubsy, how's it going, Tubsy? I be nerding out about One Piece sometimes too. Math is stronger than 24 nuclear bomb. Yeah, sort of. This is a single non-relative. I love just like looking up Schrodinger equation and seeing what the first things that pop up are. But yeah, this is a little operator. But the thing that, oh, it's Chegg. I'm not going on homework help. Fuck you. So here, I'll just, you know what? I'm already deep enough at this point. We're just gonna pull up a textbook. I'll show you guys what I've been working on, because this is kind of all I think about these days. Where is the... Oh my god. Dude, I cannot find it. It's gotta be on here somewhere. Earlier this year? Is it already that long ago? No, man. Where is quantum field condensed? I swear to God, I have it on this computer. Whatever, I don't care. I'll show you this textbook. So this is the textbook I've been reading a lot of lately. Is that Opera GX? Shut up, Josh. Shut up, Josh. Alright, so yeah, this is what I've been reading a lot of lately. I don't like... I like math, but math is a lot less cool to lecture about, if that makes sense. But yeah, this is linear algebra. What chapter was I doing exercises from earlier? It was chapter 5A, I believe. But yeah. Eigenvalues and eigenvectors. You know, all of those things. I don't know what to add to that. I want to, here, let's read Principles of Quantum Mechanics. I haven't actually opened this one up yet. Let's see what's going on. Alright, our description of the physical world is dynamic in nature. Dude, quit the fucking yap, please. Linear vector spaces, dual spaces, and the Dirac notation. Hey, wow, it really just blows through all that shit. I'm actually kinda into this. I think this will be a good textbook. Span angular momenta, Wenzel Kramer's beer. I can't speak French. Fuck that. No, I just go to the work and do the same thing every day. His stream is more real time than mine. Oh, Tubsy. Time independent perturbation. Dude. This is a long ass book. Alright, a linear vector space is a collection of objects called vectors. Wasn't that a Terraria stream? No, you're wrong. Let's find something fun. Let's find something cool. Dude, what if textbooks were cool? Dude, where are we even? I want to go to whichever page has something fun on it. Alright. We are going to go to chapter 4. This way I can like describe what the vibes of quantum mechanics actually are. Because it is a lot of odd vibes, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. A lot of odd vibes. Alright. So, the postulates. The state of a particle at any time is specified by two variables, which are the position and the momentum. This isn't Skibbity Toilet. I know, this is like... The Terraria must have been clickbait. It was. Yeah, we're trying to describe everything. And the state of a particle is represented by a vector, which this is a little state vector of the quantum state of time, and a Hilbert space. which is the Hilbert space is a space of energies. Thoughts on tachyons? Dude, I'm not a particle physicist. I low-key don't be knowing. But yeah, here. Let's look up tachyon. According to theory, would always travel faster than... Oh, I've heard of this. What's the theoretical implication of this? What's the idea? Theorized 1967. Special relativity. So, if it were to go faster than the speed of light, how are we doing that with a Lorentz transform? This is special relativity. Is there a general relativity idea of this? No? I need to read this first. Loki, negative mass. Tachyon cutter! That makes so much more sense. Yeah, with negative... Sure. Sure. Tau neutrino had traveled faster than the speed of light. No shot. Tau neutrino is so heavy, though. Don't even act... Bro's been a little big and greedy, okay? That's all I'm gonna say about it. That's all I'm gonna say about Tau neutrino. Also, what is my phone doing? What'd that phone do? Oh, I missed a call. One second. I need to make a call, chat. Ah! So around 9k people waiting. Yeah, I forgot about Silk Song. That's nuts. I'm just gonna go back to Terraria. I like physics low-key, but whatever, man. But like, whatever, though, you know? Alright, where is... You can sell me things, no? Cool. And then I need sand. Which I can probably... Do I... Oh, no, I don't have the builder yet, do I? Bruh. Oh, wait, I don't even have that mod on, I don't think. Alright, there's sand in there, though. Glass. And then... Flash. All right. Oh, you're going to sleep. All right. Have a good night, Gustav. All right. I am going to fuck some shit up right now. Dude, Tubbsy is my #1 fan right now. That's so funny. I'm looking at my top fans. I gave #1 to Tubbsy, even though he's tied with so many people. This might be... I think Tubbsy stocks are going up. Alright. I'm trying to get lid because I'm only human. There we go. I have Cthulhu, more like Buy of Cthulhu. Dude, that's what I needed to hear. That is actually what I needed to fucking hear. That is what I am fucking talking about, man. Man, that's it. Chess. Okay, that was fricked up, dude. Why are there little guys there, you know? I wonder what happened to the in-game sound. It's very silly. It's not that big of a deal to me personally. It doesn't really even bother me that much, honestly. Like, I live in the uncanny valley. That's where I live. So we're fine. Bah! Alright. Cool. Boom. Dude, tooth mode is like low-key easier. I swear to God. Yay! Oh, damn. Let's not be goofballs now. There we go. See, this guy's not that bad. I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. I don't know why that song's been in my head lately. Alright. I might suck all of a sudden. Tubbsy loves you so much. Nuh-uh. You're the #1 fan? I don't think that's what the stats say. Alright. I'm just gonna fucking get lazy. I'm feeling like getting lazy. We're gonna fight the boss with fucking grenades. I'm going grenade mode. This might be the most human way of doing it. Cool. Boom. Boom. Damn. I love the grenade plays. They're huge, actually. This might be the most fun I've ever had in video games ever, probably. Boom. This might be like Mario from video games. You have my entire biography on your desk? And it's not even my autobiography? Damn. Ah, damn. Silly frickin' goose. Someone's a silly little guy. How does it get all the way over there when he does not shoot it in that direction? Beats me off. Sorry. Must have been the wind. Garfield denies, be like, must have been the wind. God damn. I've got niche shit post references for days, bro. I cannot believe that. Release the list. Did I really just forget? Did I